Alright everyone, welcome back. So we continue on in our card collection videos with the Arizona Coyotes here. Again, we have a lot of teams to go through. I even have like the Atlanta Thrashers before we get into the Bruins. So we got the defunct teams here first before we actually get into, some of the current teams. So Coyotes and Thrashers are your next couple of videos. So we'll get straight into it here. Starting off with some of the memorabilia cards. You have a Curtis Joseph jersey card. One of the very early ones that's in my collection. Probably one of my, again, as I said in my first video of this series, probably the most valuable card in the jersey card collection. Danny Briere as well. Now the current GM of the Philadelphia Flyers. So those are the two jersey cards. The signed cards, you got a Nikolai Habibulin. Very nice card there. A little bit glary with the glare, but still, it's definitely real. Mike Johnson. Don't think that's real. It looks like it's kind of printed on, but, still one of the fake signature cards. And then Nick Schmaltz, I believe this is also printed onto there, so it's not a real signature card there, obviously. But still, Nick Schmaltz, very nice card, a part of the collection. The rookie cards, there is a lot of them, so get ready for this. I definitely... Since the Coyotes were one of my favorite teams, I definitely bought a lot of rookie cards. This is Jacob Chychrun's. A lot from the Parkhurst series. So a lot of guys that are now on different teams. I look at a lot of these guys. Christian Dvorak. I believe that Lawson Krause is the only one that's still on the team. At least heading over to Utah, which, by the way, I do plan on making a lot of videos about them in the offseason, too. Dylan Strome. Michael Bunting. So, young gun there. Not a ton of young guns in the collection, but still. Victor Soderstrom. Jack McBain. So much more recent young gun here. Here's a rookie card with an interesting name. Vladislav Kolyachonok. Yeah, definitely a interesting name to say the least. And then finally, a first-round draft choice, Dylan Guenther. Not really a rookie card, but I kind of count it as one. I remember when Guenther was drafted. And that's it for the rookie cards, the memorabilia. We'll just get straight into the meat and potatoes. All of the main cards that are in the collection. So let's get straight into it here. Starting off with Shane Doan cards. A couple Doan cards. He actually retired the year before I got into hockey, so I never really got to experience the Shane Doan era of hockey. But everything after that I did pretty much experience, so a lot of mediocrity. Keith Tkachuk. His son Matthew just obviously won the Stanley Cup, so, congratulations to him. Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Got a lot of base cards here. Here's an interesting one. Keith Yandel. Got two of them here. Derek Brassard. Struggling to pull some of these out of the slots. They've been in here for a while. Derek Stepan. One of my all-time favorites for the Coyotes. Definitely going to do a favorite player series at some point, too. Jacob Chychrun. Nicholas Hjalmarsson. Andrew Ladd. It's easy to forget that Ladd played for the Coyotes. It's actually very easy to forget. Clayton Keller. There's a lot of ones here. obviously, because he's probably one of my favorite players ever. I'd say he's my second behind Claude Giroux. MVP, and then finally artifacts. So a lot of cards there for Keller as I struggle to get him into the slot here. That's what I'm gonna get when we get to like the Bruins, which is a way bigger collection. There's gonna be some cards that I struggle with. Alex Goligoski, I should say. I don't think he's playing anymore. He might be on the Wild, is the last I remember, but honestly don't know. Keith Ballard was not around for the Keith Ballard era. Michael Grabner. There's a name that you often forget a lot, but Grabner was a Coyote. Tyler Pitlick really bounced around the league a ton. Mikhail Bodker, much older card there. Connor Garland. Derek Morris. Again, not too many of these guys that I know, but again, doing this for a while, it's an advantage. Like, you know where guys played. Phil Kessel. It's actually my only Phil Kessel card, surprisingly. I feel like I'd have more, but I guess not. Oleg Tevrodsky. Now, I know you're wondering, it does say Coyotes on both of these cards, even though it shows him wearing the Winnipeg jersey. I do believe that is the only instance of that in here, though. Nick Johnson. He's wearing a Wild jersey, but was signed by the Coyotes on that. Says it on the card. Michael Stone. I believe the Worcester brother of Mark Stone, obviously. Martin Hansel. Honestly forgot he existed at points. He's hella tall, is what people forget. Alex Galchenyuk. Galchenyuk, not going to say much on him. A lot of controversy since he left Arizona. Tobias Reeder. Much forgettable player in the NHL, honestly. Johan Larsson. Always liked him. Good fourth line guy. Or, I guess a third line guy. Was a fan of him for a while. Georges Laraque. If you told me he played for Arizona, I'd laugh in your face. Travis Hansen. This is an NHL Prospects card. Brendan Perlini. Again, easy player to forget. Mike Gartner. A few cards here. A little shiny. I'm sorry about that. But, obviously played a couple of years with Arizona. Was a good player there. Nick Schmaltz. UD Canvas. Eventually I'm gonna separate the UD canvases from the main collection, so at some point. Kyle Capobianco, again, like one of the depth defensemen for the Coyotes, was a third pairing guy. Steve Downey. Again, it's funny because like Utah just revamped their blue line and they got so many new guys. And I remember like I'd always talk about the Yotes blue line and like how I hated it so much and how I missed it so much at points. It's just like it's so strange. Kyle Turris. Again, Utah, I will make a video on them. I'm going to make plenty of videos on a lot of the teams with free agency. When you're seeing this, I probably already made some of them, but I'm pre-recording a lot. Christian Dvorak. A couple nice cards here. Christian Fischer. Fischer easily forgotten. He's now actually in Detroit. Dylan Strome. Only card that I have of Strome besides the rookie card. Interesting. It might not be true. Oh, and I see another instance. Connor Murphy. Anthony Duclair. Always spoke highly of Arizona. That's why he's one of my favorite guys. Now a New York Islander, actually. Jeremy Roenick. Max Domi. And here's another instance of my cards not being fully organized. Here's a Phil Kessel card. Now, as I said, even earlier in this video, that I'm kind of surprised that I only have one Phil Kessel card. Well, clearly I do not. So, clearly I have more than one. But that should be one of the only errors in here because we're almost done the skaters. Brett McLean. Very unknown guy. Brad Richardson. That's a Coyotes legend right there. I remember one of my favorite goals ever was when he scored in 2020 against Nashville in overtime to advance the Coyotes to the first round out of the qualifiers. Laurie Korpikoski. I know there's some old folk who might be watching this video and will get mad at me. Anton Strawman. Remember Strawman was a Panther and a Lightning for a while, but I think he's now a free agent. He was a Bruin for a little bit. Shane Gostisbehere. Honestly wanted him to come back to Utah. I almost said Arizona. Again, if you're wondering, there are actually no Utah cards in my collection. So if you were wondering, oh, Nordic, do you have any of those? No. At least as of right now, maybe I'll do this in a couple of years again. Because I did this, I think, like 2 years ago. Yusuf Alamaki. Dylan Guenther, separate from the rookie card. J.J. Moser. He's no longer actually on the team. He's now a Tampa Bay Lightning property. And the final of the skaters, Nick Bjugstad. So moving to the goalies. The goalies is a much smaller list. There's a few old goalies, but a lot of them are more recent. Karel Vejmelka is the most recent, I believe. I don't think I have a Connor Ingram. Antti Ranta. Ranta is, I think, now a free agent. He's bounced around the league a little bit. I think he was a Carolina Hurricane for a while. But regardless. Curtis Joseph. Again, I showed the jersey card earlier. This is an Artifacts card, so Joseph was definitely a Coyote for a little bit. Nikolai Habibulin. Again, I showed the signed card. I do have a base card for Habibulin. Darcy Kemper. Always liked Kemper. Gonna be excited to see him yet again on the Kings. We'll see how he'll do there. And then finally, the final card in the Coyotes collection is actually Mike Smith. So I guess while I'm here, Coyotes fans, you can click off. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for the fans of the Coyotes. Definitely gonna miss this team for sure. I do want to show some of the All-Star cards that I have for like the Atlantic Division. Steven Stamkos. These are from, I think, 2018-19 or 2018 All-Star Game. So Stamkos. Got Austin Matthews. Well, Steven Stamkos obviously on Tampa now. It's easy to forget. Erik Karlsson when he was on Ottawa. Jack Eichel, who was on the Sabres at the time. And then Carey Price, who's no longer in the NHL, more or less. So that's the All-Star cards. And as well as that, too, I do have, like, a mix of, like, minor league type stuff. Like, I have an Atlanta Knights card here. That's a minor league team. It's Roman Hamrlok. I have a few of these in the collection. Whenever there's, like, a point where I run into them at some point, I'll definitely, like, put them in a video for sure. But, yeah, that'll do it for this collection. I'm actually going to do the Atlanta Thrashers in this video, actually. So we're going to do that right now. The Thrashers, it's not long enough to do its own video, so I might as well just do it here. This is interesting. This is a 3-player card. You got Brad Tapper, JP Vigor, and Dan Snyder all in the same card here for Atlanta. So one of the older cards. Again, Atlanta's collection's really small, so there's no point in me really making its own video. Ilya Kovalchuk. If you're asking, was I around to watch Atlanta? No, I was not. Colby Armstrong. So some nice cards here. Bobby Hollick. Nicholas Havelid. Nicholas Bergfors. So some interesting cards in this collection. Patrick Stefan. was probably one of the bigger busts in NHL history. Zach Bogosian, that's a name people will know. The last of the skaters, Brian Little. And then this is actually a Between the Pipes card. It is Frederick Kasawi. So that'll do it for this video. Actually, I do have a few more cards here. Didn't realize that is in between. Byron Defoe for the Baltimore Skipjacks, minor league card there. And then some Binghamton Rangers. Steve King and Alexei Kovalev. Kovalev actually played in the NHL, so that's a interesting card there. But regardless, that is now it for the collection. I thought it'd be cool to go into some other cards there. Thrashers, Coyotes, some minor leagues. Now we get to Boston Bruins. The Bruins is a big chunk. It's a lot of pages. I think it's at least 10 pages here of cards. The Bruins collection is one of the bigger ones in my all-time collection. So that'll be tomorrow's video. But regardless, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe down below. I would greatly appreciate it. I know these videos won't get a lot of views, but still kind of cool things for the collectors so they can see what kind of cards I have. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.